What's up, idols? It's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I have to apologize for my appearance. I have been lit all weekend. I'm sorry, but y'all need to prepare yourselves for this story. I mean it. Get prepared. Get comfortable. Embrace yourself for this piping hot tea. What happens when a young lady goes to South Korea to be an English teacher? She finds a boy, falls in love with him. Well into the relationship, he wants to spice things up and he insists on doing something that makes you very uncomfortable that you're absolutely against, but you do it for him. So you agree to this ménage à trois. And it all gets real from there. I wanted this story time to be the first post-birthday story time because I got this email on Saturday night. I was out with my friends. We were on like a silent disco boat party, acting a fool. And something told me to check my email. So I'm just scrolling, I'm reading, I was just like, when I tell you my flabber was gasted. I really want to know what you guys would do if you were in this situation. And obviously, given the nature of this video, some details will not be able to be on YouTube. There's a lot of spice, a lot of smut, a lot of detail, a lot of context that unfortunately I cannot put on YouTube, so that will be in the Patreon version of this story, as well as countless other foreigner dating in Korea situations and story times too spicy for YouTube. Real quick though, I wanted to thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes, not only here on YouTube, but also on my Instagram. Go follow me there. I'm trying to be more active there, post more, get more involved, have more content there, be more active there as well. So follow me there if you don't want to miss what's going on, especially a lot of my behind the scenes, day-to-day life. I post a lot on my stories, especially. And DM me. A few of you guys have like slid in and was like, hey, you told me to DM you, so here I am. Thank you for that. For example, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that on Friday, I had some packages stolen, which I gotta admit, I just turned 33. Being 33 and having this be like the first package of mine that was stolen, I guess I did pretty good, better than most, because I think it's kind of a common, unfortunate rite of passage to have your packages stolen. So they stole not only my birthday outfit for Saturday, which I had to reorder it and I was very upset about that, but I ordered like toothpaste and mouthwash and conditioner, so congratulations, dork. That's what you got. This was me and my friends on Saturday night. This was me and my friends on Sunday night. And then yesterday, on the actual day of my birthday, I kept it demure, kept it mindful on a Monday. I went to this really nice gallery. It's called the Queen's Room? The Queen's House. And on the way there, I saw signs for astrophotography. And I've always been a space nerd. I have an Aries tattoo, I have the moon. I love just looking up, stargazing. I love it all. I felt so relaxed. I'm listening to the Interstellar theme song, just zen. And then yesterday, me and my friend went to go see The Duke and Yumi in Tuscany. So it was a very good birthday weekend. Thank you guys so much. I'm yapping. That's just what I get up to. I post about all this stuff on Instagram. Anyway, for this story time, today's story comes from a girl. She wants to be called Fiona because she loves Shrek, and for reasons that will be made clear, she wants to be anonymous. She's made a lot of dumb decisions. She can admit that and acknowledge it now. Y'all don't have to tell her in the comments how dumb she was. She knows that. Please don't be mean to her. But like I said before, she's an English teacher in Korea. She's been there for almost 2 years now. She's getting settled. She got some friends. And she even has a boyfriend of whom she met on Bumble. We're gonna call this boyfriend Do-yoon because that's what she calls him. I don't know if it's his real name, but they've been together for almost 9 months. Do-yoon is mature for his age. He's a homebody. He's quiet. He's funny. Sometimes he takes himself a little bit too seriously, but they have a lot in common. His family and his friends are also very nice to her. He's very romantic. He's good with her. They get along great. She has her own apartment. They spend a lot of time together at her place. They read each other's minds. Like, they just have great chemistry. She's never really had any complaints when it comes to Do-yoon until this idea he's had in his brain, he decided to verbalize out loud to her, this request, this desire. And I will say, she made her Instagram account public for me to take a look and like look at some of the activities they did, some of the dates they went on, and they do look very cute together. Oh my gosh, like they look good. They look like a nice, normal, happy, cute couple. And they were active. They got a lot of cardio done together, if you catch my meaning. Again, she couldn't complain, no notes. So one day, while they were at her house, as they often were, sitting on the couch watching TV, Do-yoon has something to say. Out of nowhere, with no context whatsoever, he asked her if she's ever had a threesome before, ménage à trois. Nope, she never did, never has, never wanted to, end of. Only it's not the end of because he wants to talk more about that. He's like, oh, how come? Like, why would you never be interested in something like that? She's like, well, the thought of sharing my partner with another person is not something that appeals to me in the slightest. Child, anyway, so, like, just trying to move on. But she could tell he was visibly disappointed by this answer. So she asked him, have you had one before? Like, where's this coming from? He's like, no, I haven't, but I have been curious. I mean, he's dating a foreigner, so he must be open-minded. So clearly this is something he wants to do. So instead of accepting the fact that she's not interested in this and she doesn't want to do this, he's trying to like negotiate. He's like, so hypothetically, what conditions would have to be met for you to maybe consider this one day? Even though she shut it down on this night in particular, unfortunately, this was the beginning of many not so subtle hints at what he wants to do with her and someone else. In fact, the very next night that they did the old rumba together, you know what I'm saying, YouTube version, he seemed bored. He wasn't romantic and enthusiastic like he had been for the 9 months prior. When they were done, he apologized, saying like, I'm sorry, you know, it's been a while, I just feel like we need to spice things up to keep it fun, hinting at what he wants to do with her and another person again. She didn't want to feed this though. She knew what he was talking about, but she's like, I'm not gonna address it. If I ignore it, it'll go away. So when Fiona doesn't really respond to him, he's like, is it a jealousy thing? He's like trying to pry, like, what is it? Do you think you'll feel jealous, inadequate? Like, what is it? Like, what's keeping you from exploring this? It'll be fun. So then she kind of points out the more obvious issue. I'm not interested in women. So then this goober, he's like, oh, have you been with women before? How do you know you don't like women? So Fiona brilliantly is like, okay, what'd you do with another man? Of course he says no. So she's like, oh, okay, how come, why not? And he's like, well, I'm not gay. So Fiona's like, oh, and you think I am? And for me, it's the fact that Fiona was able to assume, rightfully so, that when he suggested this three-way, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube. She knew that he meant her, another woman, and him, and not another dude being introduced. Like, she knew that that's not at all what he was suggesting. Because men love to do this when they're the only guy involved. So she decided to mess with him a little bit. She's like, you know what? I'll do it if I can pick the guy that we do this with. He's like, no, we're gonna do it with another girl. But of course, Do-yoon shuts that down. He's like, 2 women together is okay. 2 men together is never okay. And this made her even more frustrated and even more angry because there are in her life that she really cares about and loves. She has a best friend, her brother, and her brother's partner. She loves them all dearly. So as she's defending gay people, she's like, listen, there's nothing wrong with 2 people who love each other in a consenting adult relationship. Why are you saying that 2 men together is wrong, but 2 women together is okay? So then he uses this opportunity to say, well, then why can't you be with another woman just for one night?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Missing the entire point. And the way I face palmed as I read this, I was celebrating my birthday, 1 drink in my hand, phone in my other, scrolling, flabbergasted. The absolute audacity, because it is very clear that he does not care what she wants. He only cares about what he wants and trying to get her to go along with it. He said he doesn't want to be with another man. She shut that down. She wasn't trying to convince him. She was like, fair enough. Now hopefully you can understand why I feel exactly the same way. Anyway, that topic is deaded for now, but about 8 or 9 days goes by and they haven't been intimate together since. By the way, I just want to let you guys know, I'm not using my mic today because my allergies have me all congested and I heard what I sound like up close. I don't want to do that to y'all. So I hope my mic audio and my camera is okay for this. Anyway, like I said, it's been about 8 or 9 days since they've been together. Do-yoon's over her house, as he often was, and they're hanging out, spending time together. She tries to initiate something with him, but he apologizes, saying he wasn't in the mood, he's tired, he just needs something new. Again, we know where he's going with this. So then he started to say just once he wanted to try it, he would never bring it up again, he would never ask her again, he just wants to do this with her one time. So again, she tried to make him understand. How would you feel if I told you that you weren't enough and I needed another man to get me in the mood and excited and wanting intimacy? How would you feel? How would you feel if I told you sleeping with you didn't excite me anymore? She's like, I would never ask you to be with another man, so why are you asking me to be with another woman? But he of course dismissed that and said, it's not about that, it's about his bucket list, it's just one thing he wants to do and cross it off only one time. And then he hits her with, if you love me, you'll do this one time. And would you believe that that's actually what worked? Eventually, Fiona agreed. If she could pick the girl that they brought into the bedroom. He was over the moon. He said, oh, I had someone in mind, but whatever, you pick. I'm glad you're down. Thank you so much. I love you so much. He's so happy. But pause, because...
What do you mean by that?
Fiona's like, wait, you've already been thinking about another woman you want to sleep with? You've been thinking about this? You have someone in mind already? Like, what? So, rewinding a little bit, Fiona's been in Korea for almost 2 years. As soon as she got there, she met a girl. She doesn't have a lot of friends, but through her hagwon, she's met a lot of other foreign teachers there. So there's this one girl, we're gonna call her Doris, for the sake of this video. She's felt really close to her pretty much since the beginning. Like I said, they work together, they have a lot in common, they can vent to each other, they're around each other all the time. It's a very convenient friendship. In fact, Doris is the reason that Fiona decided to get on Bumble and try to date in Korea. When she first told Doris about this great guy she had been seeing, Doris was over the moon. She was so happy for them. They all started to hang out. Nothing too frequent, you know, like they've had dinner together a few times, they've had drinks together a few times, but they all knew each other. So she felt like that was a start. Doris is like my bestie in Korea. The biggest thing though was Fiona has seen the type of guys that Doris tends to go for, and she knows that her man is not it. She wanted to make sure that whoever she picked wouldn't be like chasing her man afterwards or interested in him. Like this was like a one-time thing. She wouldn't even want to do it again. She knew Doris was pretty open-minded. So after thinking about this, she told Do-yeon, I think I'm gonna ask Doris. To Fiona's surprise, that is exactly who Do-yeon had in mind.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
That's not good, because that means that Do-yeon wanted to bang her friend Doris this whole time. He thought about this. And this whole thing started to seem a little bit different because Fiona felt like, if this is my decision, that's one thing, but if this is who you wanted all along, this hits different. But unfortunately, she couldn't think of anyone else she would even want to remotely do this with. She's like, if I get a stranger, that could be messy because that's dangerous. I don't know what they might have. I don't know if they're crazy. They have no loyalty to me. They could do this once with us and then start seeing them behind my back. I would never know. She thought about it a lot before she decided to ask Doris. Now, to be clear, Fiona is not down for this. She does not want to do this. But she really wants to believe that they do this one time and she can get her boyfriend back. This man who was so respectful and romantic and chill and such a nice homebody, and they have so much in common. They finish each other's sentences, so like-minded. She wants him back. And she's hoping if I get this out of the way, I'll get him back. Again, she knows her thinking was flawed. That's not what this video is about. It's about sharing what we can learn from mistakes we make, okay? So now it is time for Fiona to approach Doris with this proposition. How do you ask a friend to do something like this? Like what? I'm curious, what would you guys do if a close friend of yours asked you to partake in something like this? Would you be flattered? Would you be offended? Would you do it? Let me know in the comments below. So Fiona tells Doris about this obsession that Do-yeon has had for the last 2 weeks or so. There's this thing he really wants to do, he really needs to do to get out of his system, and they could really use her help. So she decided to frame it like, you're doing me a favor, girl. Like, it's not at all about attraction. You cute, but you're not my type. It's nothing like that. I don't want you to feel weird around me going forward. I don't like you. I just trust you, and you can help us here. You're doing me a favor. Understandably, Doris thought it was a joke at first. She's laughing. But Fiona's stone face, dead ass. She's serious. And when it all sinks into Doris, pause.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo!
When the situation is made clear to Doris, she understands and she's like, oh me. So Doris is like, I like y'all, but y'all are not my type. And Fiona's like, that's why you're perfect for this. Understandably, she needs to think about it. So Fiona heads home, and Do-yeon is set to spend the night, and she decides to update him like, so I talked to her. She's gonna think about it. And Do-yeon was surprised, like, what does she need to think about? It'll be fun.
Breathe in, boy.
I don't want to be subtle. Me don't like this boy. I'm gonna just say it. I don't like him. I hate the double standard here. Like, you would in no way, no circumstance entertain with a man, right? But you expect your girl to compromise everything she wants, everything she feels comfortable with, to sleep with another woman, and you're surprised that everyone's not throwing themselves at their feet for this opportunity with you. Like, dude, what is wrong with you? So again, Fiona's trying to explain to him why everyone doesn't see things the way he does, because you're not being asked to sacrifice anything. You're not being asked to sleep with a man. You want to sleep with women. You're attracted to women. This is a net win for you. So after she had this talk with Do-yeon, the next day they get a message from Doris. She's made her decision. And what's awkward is Doris wanted to let Fiona know, like, all right, I made my choice, but also I got a message from Do-yeon trying to convince me. Fiona did not know that her man did that behind her back. He was telling her it'll just be fun, no pressure, no strings, just one time. And Fiona's like, dude, how eager are you to bed my bestie? Like, why are you messaging her? I already told you I talked to her. Things just kept getting weirder and weirder between these two. But again, she really just wanted to believe that things would go back to normal after he got this out of his system. It had been 9 months of heaven and 2 weeks of hell. I keep emphasizing that because that was strongly and heavily emphasized in the email. I just want to make sure her feelings are conveyed to y'all as much as possible. So, the weekend had finally arrived. Doris lets them know she agrees to do this, but no kissing, and they need to make some other boundaries clear and known. To have this discussion about boundaries and hard lines and all that stuff, she invited Do-yeon and Doris over so they could all talk about it in person, face to face, see how we all feel so there's no misunderstanding whatsoever. Plus, they need to plan when exactly all of this is gonna go down. She could see how eager Do-yeon was looking at these two women he's about to be with. And the more they talked about it, Doris also seemed to be into it. Only Fiona's there like,
Oh, I made a mistake.
as they're all talking about this and they have a lot of agreements, it seems like it's something that, oh, this seems like it could work out. Like, we agree on this, this, and this. They're like, why don't we just do this now?
I hate it here.
Fiona was not prepared for this. This was preliminary. This was us just talking about when it was gonna happen. This wasn't an invite for this to happen now. But at the same time, she's like, maybe it's better to just get this over with. The sooner the better. I can get my man back. We can pretend this never happened. For those who need to hear it, you should never have the mindset of, let's get this over with anything, but especially something like sexual and intimate with your partner. So Doris suggested they drink a bit first, which is a great idea because Fiona's gonna need some help getting through this one. Let's drink and see what happens next. And with 2 out of 3 people here eager and excited and interested in this, I think we know exactly what's about to happen next. Fiona took a lot of shots because she needed a lot, okay? They kept filling up her glass. They kept filling up her little shot glass with soju. But whenever it was empty, they'd be like, hey, remember, take that, like trying to get her drunk. An hour or so later, Fiona's like, all right, let's do this. So this is where I have to insert specific smutty, spicy details for Patreon because a lot is about to happen. It's graphic, it's uncensored, it's detailed. But for the YouTube version, they did what they all signed up to do, some more willing than others. And as the night progressed, it became clear there was something going on between Doris and Do-yeon. Her worst fears were realized. She knew that she wouldn't like the idea of sharing her man with someone else, and witnessing that actually broke her heart. And remember when Doris said no kissing? They made out. She was making out with him, yep. Oh my God, it's so good, but it's also so bad, but it's like badly good and goodly bad. When I tell you my flabber is gassed, like that's the only way I can explain how I felt. So yeah, check out the Patreon version linked below if you want to understand why I couldn't put my phone down when I'm supposed to be out celebrating my birthday with my friends. So yes, the next day they woke up from this interesting night, a night full of confusion, regret, and heartbreak, particularly for Fiona. Boundaries were crossed, it was awkward. Where do we go from here with all of these relationships? And she admits that physically, her body enjoyed it, but mentally and emotionally, it destroyed her. So when they wake up, Doris leaves, heads out, I'll see you at work. Crazy, right? But Do-yeon is knocked out, he's still asleep. Fiona takes this opportunity to go take another shower. And while she's in the shower, Do-yeon finally wakes up and he joins her. Oh my God, he's on cloud 9. He's the happiest he's ever been. Fiona feels dirty. Do-yeon is glowing. He's over the moon. He's so happy. And Fiona feels the exact opposite way he feels. But he couldn't for the life of him understand why she was upset. They just had such a great night together, all 3 of them, right? He apologized again, saying it was harder than he thought to balance 2 women at the same time. He wanted to make sure everybody felt included, but he prioritized Doris, unfortunately. And because she did finish, he's like, I mean, you got what you wanted, right? And he said next time will be better. I'm sorry, next time. Now remember, she had talked herself into doing this because she thought this was one thing he needed to get out of his system one time, cross off his bucket list, he would never talk about it again. No, he wants more. He's a fiend now, he's addicted.
Give me that make me feel, give me that make me sweat, something I can't forget.
Fiona was adamant, she's never doing this again. Ever. It's not gonna happen. If you want to do this, you need to break up with me and go be with somebody else. So Do-yeon finally leaves. She finally has some time to be alone in her own space for the first time in like a day. She can finally think about what just happened, but unfortunately everything around her reminds her of what just happened. They did it here, they were there, it smells like them, you know? So after enjoying some privacy for a little bit, she gets a message from Doris asking if they can talk. She was dreading this, but she knows they do need to talk before they go to work because that is a crazy thing. They're teachers, y'all. This has to be addressed before you go back to work. So Fiona calls Doris. Doris immediately apologizes for anything weird that might have happened. She says she doesn't remember a whole lot, but she does get the gist of what they did. And she was able to admit, you know, something like this changes a relationship with a person whether you want it to or not. So Doris was full of reassurance to Fiona, like, you're still my girl and I love you and we can forget this ever happened. Don't worry. I don't ever want to do that again. You're good. I hope you're not uncomfortable. I hope you're not mad. Whatever I did, let me know so we can clear the air now. So at this point, Fiona feels good with Doris again. So she decides to vent to her about the fact that right before Do-yeon left, he said, next time will be better. Next time what? And even Doris said, oh, I'm not doing that again. That was weird. So now in her mind, she has to figure out how to fix things with Do-yeon. Her and Doris were pretty good. Nothing seemed to be different with them on the surface. Do-yeon, however, wasn't really speaking to her as much. He wasn't coming over as much. She knew something was wrong and they needed to address it. To his credit, if you can call it that, he didn't bring up a three-way anymore after that time in the shower when he said next time would be better and she said, I'm not doing this again. He didn't bring it up to her again. That could mean a number of things though, as we know. So it had been about another 2 weeks or so when Do-yeon says, hey babe, can we talk? There's something I really need to talk to you about. And she's like, okay, well maybe he's finally ready to address why he's been so distant lately. He asked to come over and explain. She says yes. So when he comes over, they talk. When he came in the door, she saw his face and she knew he did something bad. He feels bad about something. This is bad news. Whatever's about to go down, brace yourself. He said there's something he's been wanting to tell her, but he didn't know how. And of course she's thinking, oh great, he cheated on me. The reason he hasn't brought up this three-way again is because he already got it from 2 other people. Great. So he pulls out his phone and just hands it to her. So she's like, okay, what is this? So she's reading and scrolling. It's a series of DMs from Doris. Doris is messaging Do-yeon about how she wants to do this again, but this time without Fiona.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
And when she scrolled up to look back at the first message, like the date of the first message, it was the very same day that she called Fiona to be like, hey girl, we good. We ain't never gotta do this again. I love you. I hope you know we can clear the air. She's saying this to Fiona and then saying something else completely different to her mans.
Wow.
Do-yeon swears down he didn't do anything. He agreed to it, but then he chickened out last minute. They haven't done anything. He's like, if you don't believe me, you can ask Doris. But how credible is Doris right now? To her, that sort of explained Do-yeon's distance lately because he was low-key down. She didn't only look at Doris's messages, she also saw the way Do-yeon replied to them. He was all for it. Fiona's plotting, scheming. When you're hurt, when you feel betrayed, you're not in your right mind. So she decides to keep it key on the surface. She's not gonna say anything on the phone or in text. She's gonna wait till she can see her face to face, which unfortunately happens to be the next day at work. We're not rational when we're hurt, people. We gotta keep that in mind. They finally get a minute alone in between classes, and Fiona makes it seem like, oh my god, isn't this so funny? You gotta look at this. Like it's a meme, but it's a DM she sent to Do-yeon. So the look on her face said everything she needed to know. It was straight guilt. It was just,
I'm not going to deny it.
Guilty!
because they're at work though, neither of them made a scene. But Fiona wanted to make it clear, we are not friends. We never will be friends again. I can keep it cordial at work, but we are not friends. Doris swears nothing happened between them. She says like he was down for it, but he changed his mind last minute. So that much at least aligns up, but it doesn't matter. She's done with both of them. Her and Do-yeon did date for a few more weeks after all this went down. They almost made it to month 11, but the trust was broken. So in the end, Fiona was pressured into doing something she knew she never wanted to do because she wanted to prove to this man that she loved him, hoping this would appease him and please him and make him happy. And she ended up being betrayed by her friend and her man, lost her best friend and her man. Well, her Korea best friend. She has like actual best friends at home, but in Korea, this was like her best friend and her man. All over a petty little three-way that she didn't even want. And what's sad is sometimes she wonders, like, since she's out of the way, if they're doing stuff together to this day. They both seem to like it, so maybe they're FWBs, friends with benefits. Fiona, thank you, and I am sorry. Like this story, like people fail to realize reality is often stranger than fiction. Like some of the stuff that happens, like people are out here living lives, having these insane experiences. But the good thing is we learn from them. So again, y'all, please don't be mean to her. Like, there's no need for that. Again, if you want to be a patron and get access to the full tea, link below in the description. Also, here's a little sneak peek from the last story time before this. I was having a fantastic time. Before I knew it, I was kissing Sumin. I think eventually I lost the pub crawlers though. I got messages on Instagram asking where I was and if I was okay, only I didn't realize they messaged me until the next day. So for now, me and Sumin were on our own and drunk. I didn't mind though. We kissed and danced and the tension built. He caressed me and I just wanted to f him. Why not? He was handsome, we talked for a few months, he was glued to my hip all night, he was nice to talk to, and he was fun to dance with. Let's go back to my hotel. So we did. We hopped in a taxi again and I was rubbing him outside his pants and I felt him rise in the palm of my hand. He locked eyes with me and then kissed me more. We were very impatient. We made it back to my hotel room barely and got naked immediately. If you want more foreigner dating in Korea story times, binge the playlist is about to pop up on the end screen. Thank you guys so much for being here and thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!